Have you ever wondered what life would be like if you stopped spending money completely for 30 days? Would it transform your financial life? Hi everybody, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know me, I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach, and as a family we are debt-free. I wanted to go away for a few days because I had this big business goal that I wanted to complete. And the distractions at home, both good and bad, were interfering with my ability to get this done. But this going away for a few days was going to cost me a little bit of money, and it was unplanned. So I didn't want to take it out of my regular budget, and I definitely didn't want to take it out of savings. And I most definitely did not want to have to put it on a credit card. So I devised a plan to do a no-spend challenge. Normally, no-spend challenges are done around Christmas time. After Christmas, people have to start saving money. They need to do a little bit of a reset. They need to have money for their bills because they spent it all at Christmas time. So they incorporate a no-spend challenge into their life, normally around January. But a no-spend challenge can be done anytime. If you have an unplanned trip that you want to take, something comes up, a medical bill that needs to be taken care of, you want to save because your kids really wanted that special 2-week camp experience that you really didn't even know existed, that you would really like to send them to. Any of these items and these ideas are great reasons to try a no-spend challenge. What is a no-spend challenge? Well, it's a committed time frame where you spend zero to just a little bit of money and bank the rest. Normally, it's a 30-day experience, although you can do it for a week. You can do it a weekend. You can do it for a year, which is how my blog actually got started. That's a topic for another conversation. The goal is to curb those impulse purchases, save money, and complete a financial goal. For me, it was having the amount of money that I needed to go away to the lake for a few days to write this book. So the very first thing that I did was to sit down with my calendar and take a look at what was going on for the next 30 days. Were there expenses that I needed to pull out and make an exception for in this no-spend challenges? Things like a birthday coming up, a baby shower, a graduation, anything that's going on that I didn't remember, I wanted to prepare for ahead of time, knowing that I would be spending this money. It's super important at this time when you're brainstorming this activity to define what essential and non-essential means. Essential means you're going to need food. The joy is, if we all look through our freezers and pantries and cupboards, we could probably have enough food in there to sustain us for this spending challenge, which is something I'll get to in just a little bit. Non-essentials would be things like dining out, going to the movies, going shopping for new shoes. All of those are absolutely non-essentials. You also want to set clear and intentional goals. What are you going to do with this money? For me, it was going away for a couple of days to the lake. For you, it might be coming up with $2,000 for that medical bill that needs to be paid. It could also be a great concept to save for Christmas too, in the fall, knowing that you want to have money for Christmas and this is the amount of money that you want to spend for Christmas. Next, you're going to create your budget for that month or that 30 days or whenever you decide to do that. Now, you should already have your budget set up. If you don't, you can grab this free downloadable digital planner free of charge. I'm going to leave a link in the comments below. Identify your fixed budget in your budget planner already and go through and find out where you can trim the cost, trim the fat a little bit in order to meet your goal. Plan ahead. That's what I did. I looked at my calendar. I decided on what was coming, what was not coming. For us, these 30 days were pretty quiet. There wasn't a lot going on. The only thing that we did have was our anniversary, and we decided to go out to breakfast for a nice breakfast instead of a fancy dinner. Now, you can always find alternatives. If you get an itch to say, go to the movies, or have a date night. We have great ideas for free or low cost entertainment this time of year. Plays in the park, music, go for a walk, bring your cup of coffee and watch the ducks. It doesn't matter. Walk around a tourist destination without spending any money. There are plenty of things to do this time of year for free or low cost entertainment. And absolutely track your progress. This is fun. You can print out one of these pictures that you color in, a picture of a thermometer that you color in with your goal, and track the money that you're not spending. If you normally spend $400 on groceries and you were only able to spend $100, that's $300 toward your goal this week. The next thing that I did after looking at my calendar was take a full inventory of the food that we already had. I wanted to see how many meals I could make with the food that we already had on hand and not spending at the grocery store. Now, I ended up doing very well. I normally spend about $350 to $450 on food every month. We are good eaters, but there's normally only 2 to 3 of us in the house that eat normally, while my youngest is working all the time during the summer. So I was able to go through the freezer and the pantries and the overflow and find some really great ideas for meals that I didn't need. So I was able to, instead of spending that $450 on groceries, I was able to spend a rule of $50 a week, cutting my groceries in half, and even did not spend that full $50 a week. Now that's just including our groceries. That's not including our BJ's run, or is it including our to-go delivery foods that we do a couple of times a month? Those were cut out completely this month, saving us even more money to put toward my no spend challenge. So what challenges might you face? I mean, 30 days is a long time to not be tempted by outside sources. You're going to be tempted to spend, whether it's out of boredom or just habits. You have to remind yourself constantly of what you're doing here and why. You're going to be tempted by social pressure. Role play a little bit in your head. What do you do when your BFF calls you and says, "Hey, I'd love to go to lunch with you. I haven't seen you in a really long time and I miss you"? What do you do in that situation? Can you say, I'm doing a no spend challenge, but you want to come over here for lunch? I've got plenty of stuff to make some really great salads. Unplanned expenses are probably going to come up. If they don't, consider yourself super lucky. If unplanned expenses do come up, what are you planning on doing with them? Well, if an unplanned expense does come up and it's an emergency, you should have your emergency fund all set up and ready for that. Having an emergency fund is very important to having a successful no spend challenge. We're talking about no spending on things that we can control. If your washer goes out, you can't control that, but you have an emergency fund to either get that fixed or get it replaced. And boredom is a real challenge. Now, as a 51-year-old woman who is juggling a lot of plates in the air, who has a family and a lot of stuff going on, I don't even know what the word boredom means. So I know for a fact that me, myself, and I don't have to worry about this challenge. There are many reasons to do a no spend challenge. It might be something like that bill or this trip that I want to go on. But you could also do a no spend challenge to really just reset your spending habits. If you're finding that you're spending too much money on food while you're looking at your bank account, or you're doing too many orders from Amazon Prime, doing a no spend challenge really will help you to reset your spending habit. If you just had an emergency come up and you need to rebuild your emergency fund, a no spend challenge is a perfect opportunity to help you do that. You can reduce financial stress and also gain perspective when you do a no spend challenge. Just evaluating how your spending life is going, how the money coming in is being dealt with, and how the money going out, the speed of that happening. Does it need to be tweaked? It's a great way to gain perspective and take back control of your money. So the 3 things that I did in order to prepare for this trip was to look at my calendar, to make sure there were no surprises coming up, to check my groceries, to see if there was anything that I needed to buy and what the meals were that I could make from what I already have. And the 3rd thing that we did was plan ahead. We decided that we were going to do a breakfast instead of a dinner for our anniversary because we knew that was already on the calendar. By doing these things and being very conscious of my spending habits, by not ordering anything that month from Amazon, but putting it in the cart and evaluating it after I was done, I was able to save enough money by not spending anything in order to go on this little weekend getaway. Now, I know that you're wondering, did I get away and why was I gone? I did get away. I went away for 3 nights and 3 full days to the lake by myself in this adorable tiny little cottage to write a book. Yes, I'm writing a book. It's almost done. It won't be out until 2024 because there's still lots of work to be done with a publisher. It'll be available on Amazon first, and then it will be available any place that you can buy books online. Also, there's a good chance that it might be available in bookstores too. I'm working out the kinks on that one. I can't wait to share it with you, and as soon as I can, I promise I'm going to share with you all of the details. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to help so many people with this book. It's always been a dream and a goal of mine to have a book published. It's very exciting. I hope you decide to check it out when it comes out, and I really do hope you decide to give a no-spend challenge a shot. Doesn't matter what you're using it for. You could be using it for fun. You can be using it for paying off a bill or building that emergency fund. But it's an excellent way to build up a small stockpile of money. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I truly appreciate you and have a great day. Bye-bye.